Rory, obviously with results going your way over the weekend, you have been crowned Race to Dubai champion for a 5th time. Just give us a sense of what that means to you and what you're looking forward to this week.
Yeah, in fairness, I probably would have liked to have done it another way, but I've played well when I've came back over to the European Tour this year, and won 2 Rolex Series events, and had some other really high finishes in tournaments that give a lot of points, and look, it's really nice to have my name on the Harry Vardon Trophy for a 5th time, and just be 1 behind Sevi and still a few behind Monty, but you're talking about the greats of the European game, and to be up alongside them, and is really someone had told 18-year-old Rory when I was making my professional debut in 2007 that I would have won 5 Order of Merits. Up until this point, I wouldn't have believed them. So really, really cool. I certainly don't take it for granted, and it shows the consistency that I've played with over the last few years. That even though I feel like I've had a good year, I don't feel like I've had a great year, but I can still go ahead and achieve things like this.
Rory, probably asked you this time last year as well, but how do you look back on the season? What sort of score would you give yourself out of 10? Obviously, you've had a couple of wins, big Ryder Cup, I think 3 top 7s in the majors, and sort of very near miss in LA.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
I probably give it a 7 out of 10. I've played good golf. I had the 2 wins, and the big I had my best ever Ryder Cup, which I think it feels like a win to me, especially coming off the back of Whistling Straits. So I've been happy with the year. If I look back on one thing, I'll rue the miss at LA. I had a great opportunity there to pick up another major, and I didn't. But I'm still not going to let that take away from the fact that it's been another really consistent, solid year with some really good performances, and my game, feeling like my game's in as good a shape as it's ever been, throughout my, whatever it is, 16, 17-year career. So I'm happy with that, and try to finish this year off on a high and play well this week and reset and get ready for 2024.
Hi, Rory. I just wonder if I could ask you about TGL, because obviously there's been a lot of noise of it over in America, but just from a European perspective, a global perspective, what do you think it is going to bring that golf needed, going forward? What is it bringing to the party?
Younger people, hopefully. That's the future of our game, is trying to get the younger generations involved, and trying to have them somehow relate to our game in some way. Just a different demographic, trying to put golf on a slightly different platform, and if we can increase the interest in the game from that younger demographic, then hopefully that's what drive. Hopefully golf doesn't look like what we're doing at TGL 50 years from now, because it is a game to be played outdoors and on golf courses and in the fresh air. But I think there's a place for it to at least get people excited about maybe watching a different version of the game that they can relate to, and if that gets their foot in the door in some way, then that's a really good thing.
And
Rory, this week sees 10 PGA Tour cards being handed out. There's been some noise, outside noise, about it not being a good thing for the DP World Tour to be losing 10 stars. Do you see it just as a sort of progression of the natural migration that happened in previous years, that players went to the US?
It's a formalizing of the pathway that's always sort of been there. I got into the top 50 in the world at the end of 2008. And I knew in 2009 I was going to start in the Middle East, and then I was going to go to the States, play the match play, the Honda, whatever else. So it's always been there. It's just sort of made it more official. But at the same time, the reason that the European Tour started was to give professional golfers opportunities to play golf tournaments and earn a living. And so if you look at what the mission statement is for the DP World Tour, it's to give professional golfers opportunities to play their sport, make a living, and there's no better place to have opportunity and to make a living than what's going on in the PGA Tour. So I don't see that side of the argument at all. For golfers playing on the European Tour, I think it's an amazing thing that's happened, and as I said, it formalizes a pathway to get to the the very top level of professional golf.
Rory, you've spoken a few times this year about the kind of personal toll of kind of political involvement and the energy that's required. How important is it for you that the wider political situation around the framework agreement gets wrapped up and doesn't drag deep into 2024? Because I think most of the chat would suggest that this December 31st deadline is looking ambitious at this point.
Yeah, I would say that's right. I think getting something done sooner rather than later, I think, is a good thing, because even if we get a deal done, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. That's up to the United States government at that point, and whether the Department of Justice think that it's the right thing to do, or whether it's anti-competitive or whatever. So even if a deal does get done, it's not a sure thing. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But in my opinion, the faster something gets done, the better.
Presumably that's beneficial to you, because I don't know. I mean, are you enjoying having a seat at that particular table?
Not particularly, no. Not what I signed up for whenever I went on the board. But it's the game of professional golf has been in flux for the last 2 years. Again, the overall game, I think, is in a really good shape, and but everyone focuses on this top level because it is what it is, and it's an entertainment product and it's a show. But the faster that it gets rectified, I think the better for everyone.